Welcome back, everyone, to HalloweenHaunts365.com, the podcast. I'm Jared.
Hi, I'm Terry.
Today, we are jumping into a whole new universe. As we like to call it, it is the Conjuring universe.
Yes.
That's what they call it, the Conjuring universe. A lot of movies, a lot of great movies. We didn't want to go right back into slashers, because someone needs a break from that.
Yes.
I was ready to jump into Jason, but I got told no. That's alright. Well, today we're going to do the Conjuring in chronological order.
Yes.
So we're not starting with the Conjuring. We're going to start in the order the movies take place, not the way they were released. So our first movie up in the Conjuring universe is the Nun. Look how creepy she is. She's creepy as shit.
She is creepy.
She's creepy as all hell. But before we get started, we got a video for you like usual. Let's see what Jimmy J's got to say.
Save the date! Friday the 13th, May 2022, the only Friday the 13th of the year. Yours truly, Jimmy J, and the Horror 365 team are coming back to Blairstown. And for what? The first ever Friday the 13th mini-con, all hosted by the Blairstown Diner. Guys, girls, horrorheads, tickets are on sale next Thursday, January 13th. Stay tuned. More announcements are coming your way for another killer time in Blairstown. We'll see you there.
Thanks, Jimmy J, for telling us about the Friday the 13th mini-con held in Blairstown, New Jersey at the Blairstown Diner, at the actual diner where Steve Christie and his short shorts went for a cup of coffee. He wasn't in the shorts for the cup of coffee, but that man wore some short fucking shorts.
That was the style back then.
I don't care. You could see his balls.
That was the style.
Don't care. I don't care what this. I'm still not wearing shit where my nuts can just pop out on. The convention is May 13th and May 14th at the Blairstown Diner and the grounds surrounding. Tickets are going fast. Also, they have a lot of guests joining on. A ton of alumni from the movies. Someone from 1, 2, 3, and 5 so far. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page. You get your tickets at f13minicon.eventbrite.com. And I'll leave a thing in there. Alright, so let's move on. Today we start with The Nun. The Nun was released September 7th, 2018, directed by Corin Hardy, and produced by New Line Cinema. Had a budget of $22 million and finished hitting $365.6 million at the box office. That's incredible.
Holy shit.
It ranks 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb, 24% Rotten Tomatoes, and 46% at Metacritic. And since I'm doing this now, Valentine's haunts are wrapping up. We're going to start getting some St. Patty's Day haunts in, and I'm going to add those ads right now, if there are any. So if there are any, it'll be right now. We'll see. Alright, but right now I don't have any. I'm sure they'll be sending them out to us soon so we can advertise and have all that fun for them. Now, let's get into The Nun. Alright. This takes place in 1952 Romania. Two nuns living at the St. Cartha's Monastery are attacked by an unseen evil force after entering a tunnel to retrieve an ancient Christian relic. The surviving nun, Sister Victoria, flees from the attacker, a demon appearing as a nun, and hangs herself. Her body is discovered by Frenchie, a villager who transports supplies to the nuns. A pretty cool opening scene. It made our top opening scenes.
It was.
The Vatican learns of the incident and summons Father Burke to Rome, where they ask him to travel with Sister Irene, a nun in the Novitiate. If I screw up these Catholicism words, I apologize, but I got no training, and I don't care.
You're such an ass.
to Romania in order to investigate the situation. While Sister Irene is teaching children the relationship between religion and science in a school, she's getting yelled at because, God forbid, they learn about dinosaurs. You weirdos. Old school, 52 Romania. Well, she wasn't there. Where was she? They didn't even say where she was.
They didn't say.
They were all speaking English. So I'm guessing English or England or here or somewhere.
They just told her to pack her bags.
Yeah, they did. Mother Superior interrupts her and informs her that Burke has arrived in order to request Irene's accompaniment for his trip to Romania. Father comes by and says, me and you were going to Romania. Oh, okay. The pair travels to Romania and meets with Frenchie, who leads them to the Abbey, the giant castle. Badass scenes. They discover Victoria's body and take a key from her corpse. Inside, they encounter the Abbess. Abyss?
Yes.
No, I think it's Abbess. It's Abbess, so however you guys can tell me to say that, we'll do it that way. Who informs them that the nun observe a period of silence during the night and offers them lodging at the attached convent if they wish to return tomorrow. They're not a gaggle of witches, that would be a convent, but it was a convent. Okay. Frenchie is attacked by a demon as he returns to the village, but escapes. Burke tells Irene that a boy he exorcised in the past, Daniel, was fatally injured during the ritual, and Burke has carried the burden of that boy's death with him ever since. Irene then reveals that as a girl, she had visions, and each of them concluded with Mary points the way, causing the church to take an interest in her. That night, Burke is rescued by Irene after being buried alive in the graveyard by the That was a cool scene, too.
That was cool.
The demonic entity just buries him in It wasn't even an open plot. They just made it an open plot. The next day, Irene and Burke return to the Abbey, but only Irene can enter as it is cloistered. What does that mean? I guess you had to be a nun to get in?
Yes, and she wasn't.
But she is. She's the one that got in. Only Irene can enter.
Right, but she was going to take her oath. She never really took the oath till the end.
But he took his oath. Why can't he go in? So it has to be something to do with women.
I don't know.
Again, if you guys can figure out what the fuck they're talking about, let us know. But only Irene can get in and talk to these crazy-ass nuns. She meets some of the other nuns and learns that they are praying constantly, swapping in shifts to keep the evil entity at bay. Sister Oana reveals that the Abbey's history, it was built in the Middle Ages as a castle to be used by the Duke of St. Carta, a powerful aristocrat obsessed with the occult. The Duke summoned the demon through a rift in the catacombs, but was killed by Christian knights who sealed the rift with a vial filled with the blood of Christ. See, now that part made it feel like an Indiana Jones movie. Didn't it?
It did.
Okay. However, the bombings during World War II accidentally reopened the rift, unleashing the evil entity once more. Burke identifies the demon as Valak and discovers that Abbess has been dead all along. These nuns are dead and they're talking. It's crazy.
It was insane.
It's a cool detail how they added that World War II opened the gates of hell. Because it kind of did in a lot of ways. I mean, really. Frenchie heads back to the Abbey to help Irene and Burke. Irene is attacked by Valak and joins the nuns in desperate prayer to ward off the demon. And she fucked those nuns up. Throwing them up against all those columns and everything. Snapping them in half. She was, she was beating those nuns' ass.
That's why I thought the nuns were really there.
Yep. You're going too far.
It's the story of my life.
Guys.
Go ahead.
Now hiring at HalloweenHaunts365.com, the podcast.
Yes.
When the group reunites, Irene discovers that none of the nuns she had seen or talked to were real, and she had been praying alone. Later, realizing that Sister Victoria had been the last nun in the Abbey and had sacrificed herself to stop Valak from possessing her body, unleashing the evil in the world. Theorizing that Valak can only be stopped if they seal the rift with the blood of Christ contained in the... We'll call it a relic, because I don't know what that word is. The trio retrieved the vial with the key Victoria possessed. Irene then informs Burke that God has called her to make her solemn vows as a nun and asks Burke to elevate her to the status of a professed nun, which he does in the Abbey's chapel. That was a cool scene too, because she's on the floor. The body of the undead nun is smoking behind her as she's getting her vows. I just thought that was a cool little thing. After the trio unlocks the tunnel door, Irene is lured into a pentagram and possessed by Valak. Frenchie smears some of the blood of Christ on her face, casting out the demon. Burke is wounded by Daniel's ghost as Valak starts to drown Irene in a flooded chamber. Irene expels the blood of Christ in the demon's face, banishing it as the blood of Christ seals the rift. After Frenchie resuscitates Irene. Well, resurrection. He resurrected her.
Yeah.
Sister Irene asks his real name, and Frenchie answers to her question that is Maurice. Unbeknownst to the others, Maurice has been possessed by Valak, as evidenced by an inverted cross on his neck. Then we find ourselves 20 years later at a university seminar in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Caroline Perrin watches as Ed and Lorraine Warren present footage of their attempt to exorcise a possessed Maurice. In the footage, Maurice grabs Lorraine, giving her visions of Ed dying. So, that would be the beginning of The Conjuring.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's exactly the beginning, but it's definitely the start of The Conjuring. Alright, let's get through these scores before we do this awesome cast. Because now that we talked about it last night, I feel a lot better about the cast.
I liked it.
I know, you talked me into it. So, for cast, we are going 5 stars. I think Sister Irene was fantastic. We should have read the cast before doing this, but whatever. I think Father Burke was fantastic. I thought Maurice was awesome. The nun is creepy as shit. And all the sisters did a hell of a job. So for us, I was at a 4. The missus pushed me to a 5. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why I get so burpy on these things, but whatever. Next up, we have Fear.
Well,
Fear Factor. We got it out of 4. It was good.
it was really good.
It was good. We'll be starting a new segment that we'll touch on after we get done these scores, but I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. It might be video. See how thrilled she is? Whatever. But there was a lot of jump scares, a lot of good scenes. Fear Factor, definitely stand by a 4.
I did jump.
Special effects. This was very close to a 5, but we had to stick to a 4. Some of the snake cuts were a little rough to handle, but I mean, I know CGI is completely all movies now, and they did a hell of a job. The nuns looked phenomenal. Valak looked phenomenal. Just some of the snake animations were
Yeah,
a little
I wasn't
corny.
crazy about that part, but it was still good.
So we're happy with the 4. Score and music, it's a 4. I mean, it didn't have the rock and roll like my 80s horror did, but there was nice gothic undertones. And it needed to be gothic because we're in 1952 Romania. In a gothic castle with gothic nuns and gothic pretenses everywhere. Alright, so, plot, we're going to go with 4. I don't know if I liked that it was the blood of Jesus Christ, and they brought that into this series. I think it could have been something else from that time, you know what I mean? Like, maybe bring the Spear of Destiny into it, or something like that. Something that we know existed. Because I don't think we have vials of Jesus blood anywhere. But the Spear of Destiny exists.
Right.
So maybe
I see what
something...
you're saying.
Because everything's been real life out of this universe. I mean, believe as much of the Warrens as you will, it's still real life things. And I understand the Warrens weren't part of this, and it was this backstory to Valak, but they didn't have blood of Christ in Romania. I guarantee it.
In 1952,
Right. But I mean, there are a lot of secret shit that Catholicism does hold on to.
So
if
maybe there is.
if you told me there was blood hidden somewhere, I would bet the Vatican, but not in Romania. But they're up to some shady shit, so I don't know. What? Sit here and tell me they're not. You know how much shit they're hiding? Can you walk into their library? No. Why not? You're a Catholic. Oh, they don't want you seeing shit? Weird. Alright, but back to this. That's enough of the plot and story. We're good overall. After mathematically coming up with all these scores, overall's a 4.
Yep.
Pretty good. Pretty
It
good.
was good.
Now, I will say that I've watched this movie before, and I wasn't a big fan. I think
you fell asleep halfway through it.
I fell asleep halfway through it. I really do.
I do. I think you fell asleep.
I might have. Really.
Because it was good.
It was good. All right.
I'd watch it again.
Yeah. So that's that. But look how creepy she is. She's so creepy. We're doing a
And
good
Dom
job.
got to meet her.
Yeah, Dom got to meet her. We have some autographed pictures of her. The lights are flickering again. See that?
It's the ghost.
It's not the ghost, it's the webcam. But anyway, that's what we deal with here. We're learning. We're
Get
continuing
off
strong. This is what 4K is. I mean, it's just dealing with every stupid little thing. So really, I'm going to shut those off because the flickering's bothering the hell out of me. It's because I play with the size of the video. So that's what I get. That one wants to be pesty. I don't know if that paused. Whatever. I'll cut it out later if it... Not that we're good. We're back to red light now. Okay. I don't know what you just saw, but I'll look at it later. Maybe. I might just post it. This is fucking live. Who cares? Alright, so... Let's go over this cast. You want to do the cast before we do the haunt stuff?
Yes.
Alright. Damien, I think it's pronounced Damien Bashir as Father Burke. He's still the governor of Mexico from Weeds to me. That's his. He was so good in that role that I really loved him in that. He's been in a ton of stuff. He's a good actor. I should have really looked how to look this up. Tasia?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No, it's Taysa.
Taysa.
Taysa Farmiga as Sister Irene. Now, she comes to us from American Horror Story. She did phenomenal in American Horror Story. I loved every season she was in American Horror Story. Nothing to say about it.
It was good. The only one I don't think I watched through was the 80s one.
19. She wasn't in that anyway. Jonas Bloquet as Maurice Frenchy Thuralt. Bonnie Aarons as Valak. Charlotte Hope as Sister Victoria. Ingrid Bisu as Sister Oana. Sandra Tells as Sister Ruth. Manuel Secor as Sister Christine. Annie Seva as Sister Jessica. Marie Obertin as Sister Abigail. And Joseph Bishara as the voice of the demon. Additionally, Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, Lily Taylor, and Shannon Cook appear in the archive footage. So I guess you gotta have to say that they're in here. So, let's get into the production real quick. See what that has to do. And then we'll start our new haunt stuff. On June 15th, 2016, Warner Bros. Pictures and New Line Cinema announced The Nun, a spin-off film to The Conjuring 2, which had opened 5 days earlier. Peter Safran and James Wan produced. The initial script for the film was written by David Leslie Johnson. On February 17th, 2017, it was announced that Corin Hardy had signed on to direct The Nun with a new screenplay from James Wan. During the filming of Annabelle Creation, Safran revealed that The Nun would chronologically come first in the Conjuring universe, making it a further prequel to the Conjuring series and Annabelle series. He said, "We have a board that we created that has what we hope will ultimately be our series of movies." I'd love to get a picture of that board. "We have it in chronological order so we can keep track of where it all happens."
That's pretty cool.
I would love a picture of that board because there's more coming. They're making way too much money off of these. On April 5th, 2017, Damien Bashir was cast in the film as a priest investigating a nun's mysterious suicide. Tessa Farmiga was cast shortly after as a Roman Catholic nun in her novitate. Corin Hardy later said that he initially did not want to film Farmiga due to her being the sister of the Conjuring star Vera, but changed his mind when he saw her auditions. "I watched 100 auditions for this role, and she has some kind of presence outside of her own body that is evident, and she's phenomenal." Bonnie Aarons was set to reprise her role as the demon nun character Valak from The Conjuring 2. So, it was weird seeing her in a weak role, because she's usually the tough girl. And people will laugh at me, but I have a vision of her playing Nancy and her co-star in American Horror Story playing Freddy. I think they could pull it off.
I think so too, but I don't see that ever happening.
We need to make that happen. I can see him playing Freddy. I can't see anyone else playing Freddy.
You would have to take over Wes.
Well, I got that. I can write. We started as a website where I wrote. Look at us now. Filming, principal photography for the film began on May 3rd, 2017 in Bucharest, Romania. Oh, man. Film director Corin Hardy had a Roman Catholic priest bless the set prior to filming. Probably a good idea. Normally, shit with the Catholicism and stuff like that, shit goes wrong. So,
yeah.
Hence The Exorcist. If you guys want to look at that, maybe we'll do the behind the scenes of The Exorcist sometime.
That would be pretty cool.
There's a lot of weird shit happened there. Scenes were filmed in the Palace of the Parliament building in June for a fee of €5,000 per hour. Wow! Filming also took place at the Corvin Castle in Honodora and in Sighisoara, Transylvania. Oh, they got to go to Transylvania. That's pretty cool. Hardy saw a handprint in the dust while filming in Mogaseya, and he believed that it would be that of a ghost. Hardy announced on his social media accounts that production had wrapped after 38 days. They probably went pretty quickly after seeing a ghost.
Probably.
The Nun
reportedly went under extensive reshoots. The Curse of La Llorona.
La Llorona. Cinematographer Michael Burgess had worked on the film. Juan also worked as a secondary editor. And we will have The Curse of La Llorona. It'll be the first time I watched it. I haven't seen it yet. I don't even know how it's connected. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's all connected.
I never saw it.
Me neither. Music. The original music score for The Nun was composed by Abel Korzankowski and was released on August 31st by Water Tower Music. On June 13th, 2018, a teaser trailer was released. In August 2018, a short advertisement for the film was removed from YouTube due to an unskippable jump scare that violated the platform's shocking content policies.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
Wow, YouTube.
I can't.
The horror movie can't scare people now?
I guess not.
The horror movie can't scare people now. And it's not even just YouTube. It's the world that they live in, and it's pathetic. The studio spent an estimated $90 million on print and advertisement for the film. God damn, I need to learn how to do that shit.
That's a lot of dough.
But I'm learning. I'm getting pretty good.
You are.
I'll be making some Hollywood tags soon. Superpower. Warner Brothers Pictures had initially scheduled The Nun to be released in the United States on July 13th, 2018, and February of 2018. It was announced that the film's release date would be pushed back to September. Well, they did that to line up with Halloween. Wow. The Nun grossed $117 million in the U.S. and Canada and $248 million in other territories for a total gross of $365 million against a production budget of $22 million, become the highest grossing film in the Conjuring franchise. Wow. That is insane. Great job.
That is really good.
It was. We have some info about a planned sequel. In August 2017, Wan discussed the possibility of a Nun sequel and what its storyline might entail. I do know where potentially, if the Nun works out, where the Nun 2 could lead to and how that ties back to Lorraine's story that we set up with the first two Conjuring and make it all come full circle.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. In April 2019, it was announced by Peter Safran that a sequel was in development. He stated there was a really fun storyline planned for the film and commented that there was inevitability to another Nun movie. Later that month, Akilah Cooper signed on the project as screenwriter. Safran and James Wan will serve as producers. Bonnie Aarons will be back as Valak. So, I haven't seen any teasers for that yet, so maybe it's coming.
I haven't either.
Maybe it's coming. We'll see. Alright, so, take a quick break. We're a haunted attraction website. That's where we got our bones. And sometimes while we're reviewing these horror movies, we see things that would look really cool in horror movies. I'm going to try out putting pictures of them up for the next video to see if I can get away with it without them yelling at me. We'll see.
We'll see. Doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll see what happens. But haunt stuff. These Gothic arches as a walkway with the candles going out in a row.
Right.
And then you have to walk down the dark path that was once lit. I think that would be inexpensive and pretty cool to pull off and creepy as shit. Add a little fog while you're at it. Go for it.
Crosses turning upside down.
Yes. Automatic crosses turning upside down.
Slowly.
Maybe in the same hallway.
As
About
you're
4
walking
crosses,
down.
all the crosses are turning upside. That would be creepy as shit. Bells on tombstones.
That was
Because that is a real tradition
Yes.
from back in the day, is they would have bells in case you were buried alive.
right, because they didn't have the stuff we have now to tell that you're really dead.
I think it still happens nowadays. Well, not after the embalmer, but
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But they ring the bell.
yeah,
So have the bells go off in the cemeteries.
Yep, if you gotta walk through cemetery like Frightland
Frightland.
or others, you can have the bells ringing and people are like, what the fuck is that? Tons of crosses in the hallway. It was probably about a 40-foot hallway, and there was probably about 100 crosses just scattered everywhere to keep the evil on the other side at bay. That was creepy as shit walking down that way. But the issue with that is people are assholes, so you might have to put them up on walls so they're out of the way and people can't touch them. Because if they're sitting out like that, people are going to grab them.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, because people are assholes.
Yep. We need more creepy church scenes, people. With pews and, the stained glass effect. You don't need real stained glass. You can make it. But it looked phenomenal.
Where was it we went to? Was that Legend? Where we went into, we were at a viewing?
Valley of Fear.
Valley of Fear, that's
Yep.
right.
Valley of Fear. That was awesome. Alright, so that's our haunts in movies. Some cool ideas we caught out of the movies. So, we're going to move on to, this is going to be a new segment. It'll probably be early in the thing. It's going to be called Terry's Jump Scares.
You're an ass.
How many jump scares was it for this movie? How many times did you jump?
I say 2.
It was 4.
I say 2.
And it's going to look something like this, but I might have her faces as the blood splats with that face right there that she's making. Exactly. So, it was a 4th jump scare for Terry. 1, she almost left the fucking couch. She can't deny it. Can't deny it. But they had some good jumps out of that. It was good stuff.
I can't believe you were actually counting.
I want to make it a new segment, so I got to count. We're going to test it out. I don't see the problem here. All right. We're going to go our favorite scenes before we go into fun facts. Opening scene.
Oh, without a doubt.
Them trying to get away from the nun. The nun fucks up that other nun. And the other one has to kill herself to survive. Oh, not survive, but keep the evil.
Right. Then, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Buried alive. When Father Burke was buried alive. And,
yes.
Tasia had to save him.
That was crazy.
Tasia, yeah.
Because there was an open grave, and then threw him in, and poof, there was grass and everything.
And people are going to be like, they didn't bother looking up her name? I tried. I still don't fucking know what Wikipedia is trying to tell me to say. It's Tasia, right? Tasa? Tasa doesn't look right. It's Tasia. Tasia's classier.
You should ask
prettier.
Google to know how to say it.
I know. I did, but it came up with... I didn't know where to put those fucking words. We'll call her Formiga. Yeah. Miss Formiga. And then her sister we'll call Vera, because that's easy.
And I like the scene where they were throwing the nuns into the combs.
Oh, yeah. The huge nun fight.
Yes.
Where she just walked in, boom, and all the nuns went flying. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, because they were getting fucked up. The crawl scene when she did spit the blood into her face, great effects.
Oh, yes.
Her melting, all the water coming back in, the seal of the thing. Great. That was a cool scene.
That was good.
I like that a lot. Alright, so that's all we got there. We're going to move on to fun facts. Alright. Look at this. Tasia Formiga was the sister of Vera Formiga. I know. We all know. Someone didn't know during the movie. It's so weird. She looked like the other girl. Like, I fucking hope so.
I hate you.
Wow. After the demon nun from The Conjuring 2 proved to be a popular horror antagonist, a spin-off focusing on the character was greenlit, the nun, making her the second character to get her own feature after Annabelle. The Crooked Man from Conjuring 2 will be the third in The Crooked Man. And now I'll watch The Crooked Man as long as it's not that stupid animation we saw in The Conjuring 2, or I'm done. That was the worst part
I'm not looking forward
of this
to that.
entire franchise.
Rewatching that.
The events take place before Annabelle creation, so guess what our next movie is, guys? Making it the first film in the series. Although the opening scenes of Annabelle creation take place before the nun, the rest occurs afterwards. Very cool. We read about the administrators removing the ad to offend or shock viewers about them.
They said it was too scary.
Am I reading this right? We're going to read this. An advertisement for the film was pulled from the video sharing site YouTube as many users complained that the 5-second clip featuring a startling jump scare was too scary and was allegedly giving many viewers wind. What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Administrators thus removed the ad and apologized, claiming that it was not their intention to publish content that may potentially offend or shock viewers or give them indigestion.
What the hell?
What? So when this video gets taken down from YouTube, you can find us at anchor.fm/HalloweenHaunts365.com. Because that's the dumbest shit. You have to click on links to watch it. It's a horror movie.
Gave them indigestion.
Can I sue my work? Because I have nonstop indigestion and I blame them.
I don't think it works that way.
This hurt my head. Like I said, they moved the movie back for Halloween. Principal photography was in Bucharest, Romania. This is the shortest film in the Conjuring universe. It is only an hour and 33 minutes long.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't long. Excuse me, it wasn't long at all.
Maybe because I kept jumping.
You were into it.
I liked it.
And it was a lot better than the first time I watched it. I might have
Well,
fell
that's because
asleep
you
or
were watching
something.
the back of your eyelids.
I don't know.
You watched it on a plane. So you probably passed
I
out.
probably did fall asleep. There really isn't many stuff here. When Frenchie whistles at the truck to stop, you can see that the license plate reads 6VA-01-LAK. If you remove the numbers, it says Valak. I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch it, but I saw it.
You saw? Yeah, you saw it, but I didn't.
I didn't think.
Me neither. The strategy to keep Jesus Christ's blood in the mouth and then spit it all over a demon's face was already used in a movie. It was in Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, where the female main character spits it in the face of the demon. I haven't seen that in so long, I forgot. These are all fun facts we already covered through the production and everything, so we're not going to waste your time any longer. But this was a good movie. I recommend watching it.
I do too.
I can't say it's an integral part to the universe, but it definitely helps. It starts the backstory for the nun that you see in The Conjuring 2. Even though she kind of did become the main antagonist. But it was a fun movie. Did you like it?
I did like it.
I liked it. It's on HBO Max right now. They all are, which we're getting really lucky that we chose to do that now. HBO Max is so special. But get your tickets for Friday the 13th Minicon. This is going to release, I believe, in March. So you're going to start seeing some St. Patty's Day ads. I will highly recommend
Field of
Screams for St. Patty's Day.
I am so excited. I cannot
We
wait.
will be in attendance. We are not missing that one. If they're open 2 nights, do 1 night Brighton, 1 night Field. Because you can't slouch on Brighton Asylum either. But we'll get these videos. If I get ads, I'll throw them in earlier. But we'll see. I don't know when they're going to release. I don't want to be that guy that asks for shit early. And because right now we're filming this February 6th, but you're probably not going to see it until after the Valentine's Day stuff's over. Maybe we'll see some drops. Maybe we won't. But we hope you enjoyed the video. We hope you enjoy the new formats. We've been working hard behind the scenes. We have a lot of haunt stuff coming up. A lot. We got a lot in the hopper.
Yes, a lot.
We got a lot of ground to cover.
Yes, we do.
All right. But that's all I have for you today at HalloweenHaunts365.com, the podcast, where every day is haunt season. Goodbye.
Bye.